There we go. There we go. Keontae, K-Slam. What's cracking lagging? Y'all know what it is. I'm starting off a little, hey, Demetria. What's up, Fiery? What's happening? What's happening? I ain't sure how this invite thing is working. I ain't never tried this before, so y'all just let me know what's going on, how this working. All right, what's up with y'all today? Oh, Dale, what's happening with you? Mark, you the only one on the right page. You and Adrian. What's going on? All right, check this out. Today is what's the day? The 17th. Today is the 16th. Y'all know what it is. This is DVP doing my thing. John L, what's going on? John L, Demetria, Fire, y'all on my personal page. Y'all know y'all supposed to be on the Random Thought with DVP page, right? So I can get my evaluation. But y'all cool for right now because I'm still doing some upgrades. Hey, Trina. What's going on? K-Slam. You just on your own. You on your own world. Teresa, what's going on with you? How you been? All right, check this out. Y'all know what this is, right? This is Random Thoughts with DVP. And this is how we start the show off every Wednesday that I'm able to do it. You know, sometimes things don't go like they supposed to. What's up? What's up? What's up, Tommy? What's up, little bro? So, you know, we're gonna get this started off right. Can y'all see me? How's the sound? Hey Wanda, what's good? Sound pretty good? Y'all got me? Or is this like Chinese in my mouth moving faster than the words coming out of my mouth? Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up, because I can't hear nothing. It's like talking to myself and ignoring me. Uh, and man, these little Facebook upgrades got me all confused. It's got all kind of little icons. Jimmy Count, what's going on? Larry Battle, what's happening with you? What's up? So y'all can hear me pretty good because y'all talking back to me. So I'm assuming y'all doing more than read my lips, right? Y'all know how we do this. This is the infamous door. I'm not locked out the house. Here we go. Whew. There was one of them Friday moments up in there. Y'all don't want to know what was in there. Good gracious, that's all I'm saying. Your comments won't show up on the show page. You don't know what that means, John L. John L is part of the management, so is my big brother Chuck Taylor, aka Tommy. Ernest is on. What's going on? What's going on? All right, so check this out. You know how we start off, my little intro. It's been last week I was busy trying to take care of some business things. So y'all know how they go. I was busy trying, chasing dollars and making donuts. But hey, it's been a great couple of weeks. For those of y'all that ain't seen the pictures on the page, if you want to see some grown men doing what grown men do, hey, what's up, Sharon? Check out the page of the pictures we took. There's gonna be more pictures to come from my photo shoots, this modeling thing. I was slow to take on to it, but this modeling thing, I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing, absolutely nothing like being around a bunch of grown men, and don't take this the wrong way, but a bunch of grown brothers who know how to dress, and we don't really know each other, and we fellowship and we talking trash, we having fun. They had me drink some cognac. Oh my God. There's a reason I don't do brown. That cognac had me over the top. We're gonna blame that on Ernest. I'm gonna tell you why he'll bully later on. Hey Shanice, hey Shan, what's going on? What's up, bro? Cooper, how you doing? How you doing? There you go, Demetri. You on it now. Reed, what's crack a lacking? Tamara. So I got in trouble for trying to speak to everybody, so I was getting distracted because y'all on three different pages. But that's a DVP issue. And since I'm the host, I can get away with some things. So let me make sure one of my phones don't die down because doing Facebook, it take all them. Jason K, what's happening with you? But anyway, like I said, I'm doing the modeling thing. Uh, I'm gonna let Ernest put up one of his links because there's one of the things we do with Future Gents where we training young kids. We're mentoring them. We got a bunch of grown men who are mentoring young boys into becoming grown men. Teaching them the right way to be gentlemen, so that the ladies can get what they want in the long run. We're not trying to raise thugs and hoods. All that stuff is, it ain't what's up. It look cool on TV, but we're not trying to do the boys in the hood thing. We want the next generation to be grown men like us. We want them to, know how to wear belts, shoes, bow ties, whatever it is. We want the whole thing. Hey, Miss Weston. Yes, I'm sitting on the floor. See, if you was a regular viewer, you know that this is what we do. The door is my safety blanket. This is like Linus. This is what's up. I'm always on the floor. Hey, and you gotta trust me on this. I got on pants. That's all I'm gonna say. I got on pants this show. And cause y'all were so selfish. This right here, I can't even lie to you. This is adult libations for y'all that don't know what it means. You don't need to know. But this is not pineapple juice. You see, it's blue. So it may make me just a little bit more honest. But anyway, Fiery Love, you need to come to the Random Thoughts page so you can leave a review and a like. Feel free to share the page. Like I said, we're gonna talk about racism, Constitution, and us, because that's what's been going around these past couple of days. Trent, you just flopping from page to page to page. You got me all confused. What is what? Oh, stop playing. So this is what's up. First of all, for those of y'all who have commented on my post, all right, I made a post, and let me just say this, because we're gonna move through this pretty quick, because I'm not going to argue with y'all right now about the whole Kaepernick thing. I am not against his stance. I'm against the reasons why we are protesting. For us to say we're going to boycott the NFL until, hold on, you know what? What time is it? I ain't done my intro yet. Let me get my intro out of the way before we get into the business part of the show. Anyway, so I'm doing this modeling thing. I got a couple of good things coming up. I got a show coming up in a couple of weeks in North Carolina. Like I said, we just did a photo shoot for a calendar we're doing with Savvy Magazine. For those of y'all that missed it, if I could get a commercial break and get my magazine, with my and I would show it to y'all where I'm officially a print model now. Book bag. Right behind you. I'm not. I just want to talk about the whole thing. Oh, and just in case y'all missed last week's show, just in case y'all don't know who that is, DVP, that's your host. That's this guy. That's not me. Hold on. Let me get my commercial advertising out the way. I got to do this for the sponsors. Somebody took my hold on. Somebody took my picture out the magazine. Doug, what's up? Man, okay. I'm thinking y'all should recognize that dude. That's the host with the most. Big Time Magazine. It's official. I'm a print model. So, and I'm gonna have some more news for y'all later on. And I'm just letting y'all know now, cause I ain't a phony dude. When I make it big, I'm gonna act like I don't know y'all. Okay, just real talk. I'm gonna keep my pinky straight all the time. Y'all won't be able to call me DVP. My name is gonna be DVP. You know what I'm saying? You got to say it like that, or I'm not going to acknowledge you. It's DVP. Okay? See how I got the whole pinky thing going? Oh, let me do it with the pinky ring. DVP. That's how y'all don't have to talk to me. All right? Just letting y'all know up front. So y'all can't say, oh, he changed. I'm telling you now, I'm going to change. That's what Cheddar do. Mark, you finna get blocked calling me Peter. It's DVP. DVP. Get it right. All right. So that's what's going on. Like I said, my modeling career is moving. And that's what's up. But all right, I need to tell y'all about my little piece. Y'all see that? Grown men ain't afraid to wear pink. This came from LA Pink. This right here is some hot stuff. You're gonna see me modeling this stuff in the future. It just happens to go perfectly with my Fitbit watch. I mean, they're different shades of pink, but that's because they're different materials. Quit playing. All right, so like I say, the modeling thing is going on. There's going to be a calendar coming out soon with Savvy. Ernest Moore going to tell y'all more about that later. You're going to see some of the hottest fellas around, and we dress to the nine. So if you like grown men, ladies, y'all going to want to get a copy of this calendar. Now, ladies, if you married or you got a significant other, you might want to hide this calendar because we ain't got time for brothers to be looking for us. But we, you know what I'm saying? Look at the pictures. All right, it's a couple of them on the page. I'm going to post some more in the next couple of days. I've been busy. But it's coming. Hey, Varshay, what's going on? If I ain't speaking, forgive me. I just got a lot to do. And if I'm talking too fast, say something to me. And Tyler, don't be calling me names on my show. That's how people get blocked. All right, but check this out. My issue with the NFL ain't with Kaepernick. I want y'all to understand what I'm telling us. If we're gonna boycott, and please believe I'm a believer in boycotts, but all boycotts should have an end game to them. If we're saying we're boycotting because they won't hire him, and we're not gonna watch until they get him back, but we also call the NFL a plantation, isn't that counterproductive? The slave got free, but we're not gonna watch NFL until they bring him back to the plantation. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm against the whole boycott. This guy personally doesn't believe in boycotting anything that's going to make people who have a lower income suffer even more. And if we boycott, the owners ain't going to suffer. The players ain't going to suffer. It's going to be the mom and pops, the little vendors, the kids that are walking through the stadium selling hot dogs and magazines. That's who suffers to me in a boycott. I'm not saying don't do it. If that's how you want to show your support, that's fine. But I can't give my support to that because I don't see how it's helping the little people. They got more to lose from it in my world. That's why I'm telling my suggestion. Like I said, if you read the post, and it's on all my pages, DVP, Darren Bell, Random Thoughts, Good Men Need Training. Let's boycott some courthouses. Let's boycott some police chiefs. Let's boycott some sheriff's offices. Let's boycott some judges, city hall, and state capitol. That's where changes are made. Hey, what's up, Odessa? So if we want to make change, if we're really this upset about how the system treats us, let's attack the system. The NFL don't have no control over court systems. To think that those two are mutually inclusive is asinine to me. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. If that's how you feel you should protest, do what you got to do. But when we protest, we have to look at the small people. And when everybody keep wanting to tell me about Selma, understand the bus boycott was planned over a year and a half so that people who had to work wouldn't have to stop feeding their families. Because we're talking about a lot of lower income people. They couldn't afford not to go to work to support the cause. So Dr. King and his crew made sure they had all the cabs, vans, and people were carpooling so they could still get to work. That's the only reason the boycott worked. If we boycott things that hurt our people who are less financially stable, they can't support the cause because they gotta eat. They have to eat. And I keep saying, remember when they shut down I-85? The truckers who were on board got off board with BLM because now they can't make their deliveries. Truckers do things on the timeline. When you block the whole highway, what's up, Ed? I see what's going on with you. That weight loss looking good on you, bro. That's how the system goes. So when we start getting into these little things, and I'm glad my boss is here. We're gonna get into that too. We got to make sure that if we're going to boycott something or protest something, that we looking out for the little people, because that's who the bulk of us is little people who don't make $1 million. We can't tell them to give up ways of making legitimate money and send them back out on the street and don't worry about the repercussions. So for those of y'all that want to call me a coon or a hater, feel how you want to feel, but you missing the whole point. Just because somebody is black or has an idea doesn't mean we should blindly follow it. Because y'all don't blindly follow Jesse Jackson. Y'all don't blindly follow Steve Harvey. Y'all don't blindly follow a lot of black people. So I'm just confused on why it is. And I ain't say nothing about his stance. But what I said was, you got other people in the NFL, Richard Sherman, Shannon Sharp. Everybody tells us how we should feel. But what have they done? They millionaires. They can afford to lose a little money. Has any player said, hey, you know what? If y'all don't do this, we're going to sit out a play. We're going to sit out a series. Has Shannon Sharp or any broadcaster said, for 5 minutes, I ain't going to say nothing in protest for my brother Colin Kaepernick? They ain't saying nothing, but they all want to tell us how we should feel, and we falling for the bait. I can't, in good conscience, protest for a millionaire. He's a millionaire. He made $20 million a couple of years ago. $20 million. I'm confused. And I'm gonna use Ed, I'm gonna use John, Chuck, Varshay got her own business, so I can't use her right now. Odessa, anybody who works for somebody. Okay? John, Ed, myself, Chuck, we have to wear uniforms to work. Okay? And this is where we get into the Constitution. The Constitution says we have freedom of speech, we got the freedom to assemble, yada, 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 yada. Hey, beautiful Brenda, what's going on with you? And all that never fails. We work for the government. The government tells us what uniform to wear. Now, we know this. The government tells us how we should act on work. We can't just say what we want to. It doesn't deprive for our Constitution. But if we want to stay employed, there are certain things that we cannot do. So I don't understand how people keep wanting to mix the Constitution up to employment. Nobody has a constitutional right to work. Nobody. Employers control that. That's why they pay you. When they're paying you for their time, they get to control what it is you can and can't do. That's just a way of life. Unless you own your own business, and anybody who owns their own business, boss man, Reggie, you on here? There's certain standards that they want. That's just life. You got to make a choice. Either you can deal with that standard or you can't. But understand this. I do bodyguard work. I got clients. Guess who I'm not going to speak out on? My clients. It affects my paycheck. It affects my ability to eat. Now I can sit here and say, oh, I said I want to say yada, yada, yada. And I can. Hey, what's going on, big sis? And I can. But it doesn't still give me the same employment opportunities. And if I choose to leave the opportunity because I'm doing something that my employer doesn't want, that's not the public's fault. It's my fault. I made a choice. Boom. Now, and oh, you're not getting it. I am getting it. One, the NFL, again, does not control any court decision. I don't care how much y'all boycott the NFL. The NFL could close down tomorrow. I guarantee it won't affect not one bad trial. It won't affect not one cop who's getting away with aggravated assault or homicide, not murder. I already told y'all the statute is totally different from murder. You got to prove intent. So if we're trying to make a change to the system, if that's our ultimate goal, we got to do things that will affect that ultimate goal. Not watching football will not stop any cop. Oh, look at that. People ain't watching football. You think road cops going to stop killing? That's like saying if we stop watching football, we're going to stop killing each other. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. So quit trying to tie the two together. Okay? But again, we want him to go back to a place that we are calling the plantation. Is that the end goal? I'm not going to watch the NFL because they do this. Well, most of us have jobs that won't let us do certain things. Most of us, even though now our employers want to know if we got a Facebook account because they want to see what we're doing. We know officers who've been fired for putting official stuff on Facebook. You know why? Because it's against the code of work. It's against your employment code. You got freedom of speech. You got freedom of speech. That will never, ever change. But Yolanda, his protest can't change no judicial system. If we want to change the judicial system, and this is what I want people to understand, because this is what I want them to change, the judicial system, for the judicial system to change, for these cops to stop getting away with stuff. You got to attack policies and procedures. You got to attack judges who make these decisions. Has any judge ever put on blast for letting homicide or aggravated assault go free? And judges have the right to overturn any jury decision that they think is not based on legal ramifications. Nobody blames them for these departments who have multiple shootings, multiple beatings. That's a police chief, sheriff issue. Is anybody attacking these? And don't get me wrong now. Tell me which one of these officials, other police chiefs, are not elected. These are elected officials. All your local judges are elected. All your state court judges are elected officials. They are elected, which means we vote for them. Your vote counts. Okay? Sheriffs are elected officials. If they're not changing the policies to make it safe for our kind, vote them out of office. Police chiefs are appointed by mayors who are elected. So while we're sitting here boycotting the NFL, we're not changing the system to make it work for us. And that's what I'm saying, Yolanda. It can change people who get into the system. He's focused on equipping children with knowledge so they don't get in the system. And I ain't going to argue with you about his point because he hadn't said a lot of things. So I'm just saying, when I was making my post, people thought I was against him. And I'm just saying, the man walked away from $14 million. He's not the average guy. He made $20 million 2 years ago. He's not the average guy. So for me to protest somebody who hasn't said, and he's never said the NFL is treating me bad, he's never said. He attacked the Star Spangled Banner. He attacked certain things, but he's never said anything about the NFL. So while we're attacking the NFL, if he hasn't, he can attack this, but not this. We want something that he hasn't said, and he speaks. He spoke out against Michael Vick, So we know he's alive and talking, but he hasn't said, hey, the NFL is mistreating me. The NFL is doing this. We keep saying this for him. And we keep doing this. Like I said, and if you want to support boycott the NFL, I'm cool with you supporting it. That's your prerogative. All I'm saying is don't get mad at me because I have another way of wanting to fight the system. And for the system to be effective, we have to have multiple ways. We have to. If you only got one way, as soon as that one way fail, we all fail. But we have to come from different avenues because somebody doesn't agree with one train of thought doesn't make them a coon, Uncle Tom, or Sambo, Uncle Ruckus, none of that, because most of us don't even know what none of that means. We use the term inappropriately. But the Constitution still says what it says. You have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not guarantee you a job. And this is and don't get me wrong, because I hate saying this, but this is the truth. I was having this conversation the other day. All the people who were at the march in Virginia, the guy whose picture's plastered everywhere, where's his freedom of speech? We want him fired. When the governor of Georgia said colored people, we wanted him fired. What happened to their freedom of speech? So we can't say we want freedom of speech just for black people or people of color. That's where the racism come in, because we want something that we don't want everybody else to have. Either we're gonna have freedom of speech and let people say what they want to say, and then we react how we want to. But if people say stuff and we want them fired, why is it we don't want people fired when they say stuff if they look like us? There's a double standard there somewhere. And for the system to work, we have to be willing to understand that we have to control us to say, hey, we doing this, you gotta be held to the same level. It's no different than nigger. I can't let you sit here and call me nigga and say, oh, it's offensive when somebody else calls it. I got to stop everybody from calling me nigga if that's what I want. Okay? And that's the system. Well, you know how I feel about the whole 45 thing. That's a whole different issue. That's politics, and that's the DNC, but that's a whole nother show. So when we're dealing with this, understand what the Constitution says. The Constitution don't say nobody has to give you a job. It doesn't say that anywhere. I can say whatever I want to say as long as I'm unemployed. I can do whatever I want to do. That's the system. You Know Your Rights Camp is a free campaign and you fully funded by Colin Kaepernick to raise awareness on higher education and self-empowerment. Cool. And see, Yolanda, I'm good with that. But that's it. And right now, to me, it looks like he wants to be more of an activist than an NFL player. I don't know this to be certain, but I can't put words in his mouth. I can only say what he's saying or what people putting out. But what's he saying? What's he doing? And this is my point. Too many of us are trying to impose our will on what we want from him when he can do this on his own. And that's all I'm saying. We have to take multiple strings. Exactly, Jan. It seems to be his focus is moving toward being an activist. And that's all I'm saying. And everybody's saying he wants this, this, and this. Right now in my world, Colin Kaepernick is living the American dream. He got $20 million 2 years ago. He's roughly made $30 million in the past few years. He walked away from the game with his health. As far as we know, with his sanity, he has no physical breakdown other than when he got hurt last year. So he walked away with a pocket full of money. Why are we mad? He ain't said, he hasn't retired. He ain't said a lot of times. So let's stop assuming what he means. He's veering more toward this. Why he ain't playing, we can sit here and play the stat game all day long. Until he says, I want to play and they won't give me a chance, I'm not finna sit here and indict the whole NFL on that. And I tell people, if we're going to go on the system of black people, you can't judge one by all. All y'all that know me know I'm a Patriot fan. He couldn't play for the Patriots. We got Garoppolo, who is the best, who is a starting quarterback. And we got the number 3 guy who is in training. He can't make it. So why would I punish my team? But like I said, that's neither here nor there. That's just understanding, people, that I'm not criticizing what he's doing. I'm criticizing our enforcement, making him want to be something that he hasn't said. We should all have ways that we can boycott or protest. Everybody can't do the same thing. Yolanda does what she does. I do what I do. Everybody has their own way of doing things. And that's just the way it's got to be. But we can't sit back and act like there's only one way and we're the only victims when a lot of times we're the same culprits. I'm watching everything that's going on. And I'm watching everybody get mad about the killings. And I'm watching and I'm watching. And I'm hearing everybody holler, neo-Nazis, alternate this, racist that. Let me just ask you one question. And I know some of y'all gonna get pissed at me, but it's okay. What's the difference between neo-Nazis, the KKK, and Crips and Bloods? Aren't they killing the same group of people? Aren't they kill? They got the same target audience, yes or no? I mean, somebody help me out. I ain't in the game. They didn't have the game movie at Holiday Inn Express last night. But from what I'm reading, they kill the same group of people. So why is it we can get so pissed with the Nazis and the KKK, but we don't get pissed with us killing us? Fair is fair in my world. That's why a lot of people don't understand. When I say this, people tell me I'm missing the point. Dead is dead. And I'm gonna use my brother because I know he ain't sensitive. If Tommy kills somebody of color, he's just as guilty as the KKK. But I'm gonna make excuses for him, but I'm gonna call the KKK racist. I'm confused about this racism, how we use the word so liberally to define everybody else. Because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be a racist, because I got black friends. I got black friends. I got white friends. But anybody who knows me knows that I don't like black people or white people. Now what? What does that put me? But I'm not killing anybody. So if we're going to fight, and we want to fight a smart fight, which is all I'm about, we can't keep doing the same crazy stuff. Y'all little Tupac, we got to change the way we eat. We got to change the way we treat each other. We got to change the way we talk. That does not work well. Because we want to sit back and say, oh, we're royalty, we're kings and queens. But then we sit back and say, oh, I'm a victim. Nobody will give me a chance. Well, they are. Y'all watch the same stuff I watch. Everybody's up in arms about this thing in Virginia. And don't get me wrong, we should be up in arms about what's in Virginia. But why we went up in arms about what was going on in Chicago? Why we went up in arms about what was going on in D.C.? Why, excuse my French, but why the fuck aren't we mad about Flint? The water's still fucking dirty. It's still fucking dirty. So what's up? Crips, Bloods, Black Lives Matter, whoever it is, does it matter that the water dirty in Flint and black people are still dying? That's my question. But it's cute that we want to worry about neo-Nazis, but we always talk about what's the phrase, it take a village? Our villages are screwed up. And we want to blame everybody but us. At some point, we have to take responsibility for each and every action. Colin Kaepernick theory. He's taking responsibility for his actions. We keep wanting him to do more. He's done what he wanted to do. When are we going to take responsibility? Then we can hold other people responsible and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take care of our community. This dumbass stop snitching. If you come in here and hurt my community, I don't care what color you are, your ass got to go. Snitching. I got this from one of my poet friends. Snitch, S-N-I-T-C-H. Silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. You know what I'm saying? Chuck, Katrina, can I get one of y'all to type that in there for me so people understand what snitch means? Silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. That's what we employ that. Why? But if somebody else that don't look like us come in, we want to raise hell. I'm seeing all these little dumbass memes about, oh, if they come to my neighborhood, oh, that won't happen. Let me just tell you this. Everybody know where they're going. If you're a freedom fighter, go to them. Just like those groups who didn't support neo-Nazis and KKK found them. If you want to be an agent of change, go to them. Once again, now, I'm not imploring violence. I'm never going to tell you that, but sometimes it is the right answer. But we know how to find them. But we so busy killing each other and wanting to deflect and redirect. Oh, don't pay no attention to me killing my people. Look at them killing people. Y'all seen all the stuff that happened in Chicago just like I did. We don't talk about it no more. Y'all know that water in Flint still dirty. We don't talk about that no more. Y'all know that Trayvon Martin was killed by a white dude. We don't talk about that no more. And it took a white dude to beat up a white dude for all these soldiers of change who was going to do something that didn't do shit. Excuse my French one more time. See, this is what happens when you drink blue stuff. Your sensor button don't work as quick. So while we sitting here talking about our constitutional rights, because I look, ain't nobody got a constitutional right to kill nobody. Murder is murder. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all again. It's hard to prove a cop committed murder because the number one thing you got to prove is intent. Now, y'all seen a little thing up in Virginia where the guy ran through. Everybody had an instant reaction. Now, I done seen some extra video of where people were hitting the car and he claiming he gonna use the he was scared defense, and it may work for murder. It may work. Because if they can show where people was hitting his cars with bats and stuff, like it or not, it's a defense that he was trying to get out of there and flee for his safety. The fact that somebody got in his way will work. It's not murder, right? You have to prove intent. And that's what, see, we don't understand the legal talk. And that's where, whether you like me or not, people like me explain the law to you. It's homicide. At that point, it's vehicular homicide, because murder requires that you have intent when you start to do something. And if he was just driving through, like I said, I saw one video where he was driving through and people running up on his car hitting it with bats and stuff. That's a legal defense. Like it or not, it's a legal defense. And then the other one, Brian Wright, is saying the accelerator got stuck. So they already working on two different theories. But like I said, Brian, where you been, Brian? I thought you got off Facebook, but I'll send you one. I actually, one of my friends sent me one where they showing some people hitting on cars. So, and that's where we have to, instead of being so reactionary to everything we hear the first time because it's what we like. But we don't wait for facts. So if a cop shoots someone in the head, is that considered intent? Understand this, one, it's hard to shoot somebody in the head. It doesn't matter where you shoot them, Tommy. It matters why you shot. Which is why I'm saying it's hard to prove murder for cops, because we got such leeway. Because I can show you videos where cops have got shot by people who appear to be totally harmless. So it's easy for a cop to say he was scared, whether you like it or not. And scared ain't the only indicator. But when you see some of the training videos that we watch, where people just sitting around and they got their hands in their pocket and all of a sudden they pull a gun out, that's why it's hard to prove murder. Now, if he didn't complete every phase of it, it's easy to prove homicide or aggravated assault. But when the DA's charged murder, knowing that they can't win, then everybody loses, because now another cop goes free, but he didn't commit murder. Unless we prove that he woke up with the intent to come out there to do this. You can't. It's too hard. I'm telling you this legally, not emotionally, legally. It's no different when I told y'all about Zimmerman. Legally, Florida said he was cool what he was doing. He committed homicide in the legal sense, not murder. But from a moral standpoint, he committed murder. But the law is not morally right. The law is legally right. You have to go with that. And that's what I try to tell you guys, even when y'all fight up against me. And I accept it because I like your passion, because you make me look at everything. And I love that. But you got to understand, what I'm telling you is the legal system. That won't work. If you look at the video in real time, he plowed through the crowd in the middle when it's right. And that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, one of the defenses is, and like I said, all I saw was a snippet. Yeah, because if he put in reverse, it take away the defense of the one where something got locked. I ain't figured that one out yet. But like I say, if he's saying that he did it because people were beating on his car with baseball bats and throwing bricks, if he hit the accelerator to get away from that, he may have a defense for that one, Brian. Like I said, and it's just a defense. I ain't saying it's going to work, but it gives him, it will take him out of the murder realm if they can prove that they was throwing stuff and beating on his car. And he was, because a citizen can be scared and act irrationally. A cop can't be scared and act irrationally, because you're trained to fight through the fear. And that's what I try to get people to understand. And cops, Brian, you still a cop. Cops have certain things that we have to do. When we have to wear a uniform to work. If we want to wear something outside of uniform, it can cost us our employment. Period. That's just the system. But we knew this coming into the job, that we lose a certain amount of freedom of speech while we're employed. Listen to the word I use now, because this is what most people don't want to understand. We lose a certain amount of our constitutional rights while we are employed, not while we're working, while we are employed. You cannot be a public Klansman and employed by most law enforcement agencies. Conflict of interest. It ain't gonna happen if they find out. That's why they keep such a low profile on stuff. And I was telling my little friend, I said, you know what? I got people on my page who I know are racist. I know that they're racist. And you know why I keep them? Because I need to know what they're saying and what they're thinking. Because I see some of y'all say, oh, these people don't agree with this. Oh, y'all can unfriend me. When they unfriend you, how do you know what's going on the other side? Exactly, Tommy. Cap can do what he want to do now. And if that's what makes him happy, let him have it. Stop saying we ain't going to be happy unless he go back to the plantation. Right, Roy. But that's what they do with all the cops. They charge with murder and they can't prove it. The code section won't let them. But the black community, oh, we like it because we finally got this. Oh, he gonna get his, but they can't prove murder. So if we charge them with a lesser crime that can still get maximum time, we can get more out of it. We can get more convictions. But if we become so emotionally attached to the charge of murder, we're gonna always be dissatisfied with the outcome because murder is too hard to prove for cops. It's just a way of life. I like blue, just the color. But for real, y'all, this is adult libations. All I need now is some pizza. But I can't eat on the show because of the beard thing. But and this is why I want us to understand why do we get so upset about stuff, and when people try to educate us on the system, we get mad and want to call them names. Like I say, go. After the show, go to the page and look at the one about Kaepernick. And I did say what I said. These are the things he did, and to me, he's accepted responsibility. We haven't accepted his choices. And then I gave you a list of options on ways you can boycott to help change the system. I ain't hating on him. I ain't hating on nobody, except for the people who came and said the Kaepernick thing is the worst thing going on in America today. Dude, if that's the worst thing going on in your world, I want to come to your world. You in a great world. If that's the worst thing going on in your world, really? 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 But hey, people have, let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an open-minded guy, and I will let anybody say anything to me. You don't even have to be extra respectful, but what you're not going to do on my page, you came to my world, is call me a liar and not produce facts that I'm lying. Because everything I say, 98% of it is factual data. I can show it to you. I posted a couple of links that weren't correct. I found out they were false. I immediately took them down because I didn't want to talk. Brian says, yes, still the police and the brother, you are correct. We cannot utilize our rights while employed. And any and everything we say can and will be brought up. And that's the point. When you're a cop 24/7. And people don't get that. But if we want to stay cops, there's certain things that we can and cannot do. And right, Brian, that's what I said. Homicide is a choice because depending on where you live, but murder is not the choice to convict most cops. Homicide is, or some form of assault, because the crime did occur, but the crime wasn't murder. What's going on, Mason, Stafford, Smoker Joe? What's going on, fellas? And that's all I'm saying. We got to stop being so upset with people who offer us a non-violent alternative and a legal alternative. We're not coning or we're just showing because everybody can't do what you do. I'm a retiree. I get a check regardless. So I can protest anytime I want to because it ain't going to cost me to miss no work. Everybody can't do day protests because they're going to miss work. So for me to sit back and tell everybody, one, to go to the courthouse, ain't going to happen because some people got jobs. Okay? When Black Lives Matter was saying do stuff after 8 o'clock, who they going to affect after 8 o'clock? Ain't no politicians at work. You gotta have a healthy balance of how you want to do stuff. But what we all can do legally, your job has to let you vote. We can all vote unless you're a convicted felon, and then there are ways to even get around being able to vote as a convicted felon. I know this because we did absentee ballots for some inmates in jail. It's just how bad do you want to know and how much do you want to know? We can all vote. And understand this. If your vote didn't matter, which is what people love to tell you, why would people keep trying to get you not to do it? Your vote does matter, but it's important to know what you're voting for. In the same term of racism, if you voted for Obama just because he was black, you just as much as racist as anybody else because you don't know what he's standing for. And it's important that we know what these people stand for. Every black politician is not a great politician. A lot of them are shady. A lot of them. I hate to say it, and if you want to call me a hater for that, so be it. Did I hit y'all with this right quick? Let me hit y'all with a quick commercial break, because y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. There's a magazine, DVP. Big Time Magazine. All right, in a commercial break. We can vote. We can vote to change issues. I've said it before. We all need to get groups and educate one another. I will volunteer to anybody to go talk, and I let people yell and scream at me because they don't like what I'm saying. But it don't change the rightness of it. And Ernest, let me just, Ernest said voting for president is the biggest joke going. And Ernest is a bully. Ernest is the one who got me into modeling, but he in a cyber world now. He can't harm me. I'm over here. Voting for president is not the biggest joke going. And this is my issue with voting for president, because I understand the electoral college and I believe in the electoral college. So that if it wasn't for the electoral college, whoever California and Texas vote for is going to automatically win, because it's going to knock out the New Hampshires, the Maines, it's going to knock out all the little states. So I believe in the electoral college. But what I don't believe in is what the DNC did. The DNC stole the election. Bernie Sanders won in the DNC, but they gave it to Hillary. So it was karma getting them back, because they thought they had a great enough candidate in Hillary that she could beat 45. Well, that backfired on them, because I don't think even the most radical Republicans would have voted against Bernie. Bernie had too much steam going, but when the DNC decided to poop on him, they kind of, hey, they put all their bags in Hillary. Everything started coming out. So you had this worse or that worse. Yes, sir. You'll drop. Thank you, Brian. Hey, Brian, do me a favor. Inbox me your number, man. I need to holler at you because I think I'm coming to your town soon. Well, I don't hate on. Yeah, we don't hate the electoral college when it don't work in our favor. That's how we do about everything. Anytime something don't work for us, all of a sudden it's this. You know, I posted something today, everybody loved me again. But when I posted something that popped real knowledge about the Colin Kaepernick situation, everybody got pissed with me because you want me to be your yes man. I can't do it. I don't follow Louis Farrakhan. I mean, I don't follow Minister Farrakhan. I'm not. But he said some great things. But I know more than some of y'all know. And when people ask me, I give it to them. How you feel about him, how you feel about him, the Nation of Islam, into that. I'm not telling you to change your mindset or ways. I'm just saying sometimes you have to take everything into consideration. I cannot make emotional decisions and ask people to follow me because all of a sudden I'm fired up, but my emotions are going to let me lose, and then everybody's going to be upset when y'all send me these videos, and I take my time to look at them, and I wait a week or two for other stuff to come out so I can make an informed decision. Because to me it's more important than running out and having to take what I say back, because then I become erratic. Well, he said this week, but Tuesday he said this, and Thursday he said this, because I have to keep changing my mind. I'd rather just wait a few weeks, which is why I want to wait before I pass judgment on what's going on in Charlotte, because I need to see more information. And then I'm going to give y'all my opinion. And that's what I do with everything. When y'all, I don't post any videos good or bad about cops or about crooks, because I'm just not going to get into the whole video thing. Y'all know my stance on videos. If it's going to court, no video should be made public, period, because you taint the jury pool. That's just a way of life, because then every prospective juror gets to hear from their friend. Which takes me back to us. If you want to change the system, and to most of y'all watching the show, this ain't going to apply to y'all, but listen to your friends who keep trying to get out of jury duty. So the post I made today about what bothers me most is that some of these same people who was at this rally in Virginia, they're going to be on jury pools, sitting there deciding the fate of somebody of a person of color. But you know what? These people look forward to being on juries. They look forward to being on juries. What do we want to do? We don't want to be on juries. We want to get our hair done. We want to go grocery shopping. We want to go get some Black and Milds. We want to do everything we can to avoid jury duty. Solomon, you're going to be confused, but you see a lot of confusing things. The Constitution was. All we got to do is make it work for us, but we sit there and fight it. Like me and you. You got your opinions, and that's fine. The Constitution works. Bro, there's too many black people on this page right now who have jobs and have money for you to say that it don't work. But if you want to constantly fight the system, or you want to be pro something, but you don't want to understand the whole system, understand this. Somebody tried to challenge me about the NFL and politics. And they wanted to bring up Ben Roethlisberger, why he didn't go to jail, why another white guy didn't go to jail. Well, Ray Lewis didn't go to jail. Money talk, period. The guy that played for the Cowboys who put the guns on the girl that everybody know happened, he didn't go to jail. Don't make it a black and white issue and act like something only affects white and doesn't affect blacks. Blacks with money get away with shit too. OJ got away with murder. I don't care how none of y'all feel about it. We know he did. I can tell you why I know, but that's not neither here nor there. Quit acting like white people the only way who get away with stuff. Everybody from the hood. Tommy, you from the hood. Tell me, Tommy. Tell me honestly, it ain't some people in your hood who you know got away with crimes who got locked up and got away with crimes. Because the system was incomplete. So quit acting like white people are the only ones who get away with shit. Quit acting like it. R. Kelly ain't been to jail not nan time. Is there anybody that don't think R. Kelly is a pedophile? Anybody. So don't give me this where we don't want to see the whole story, where we just want to pick truths. And that's what we do. And that's why a lot of y'all who want to challenge me keep doing it. Oh, well, they get away with it. Well, let's quit worrying about them. Let's worry about us first. Anybody who can tell me they don't know no black people who got away with something, what's the word? You full of shit. You full of shit. Because R. Kelly ain't been locked. I mean, how long has R. Kelly spent in jail? And we know for a fact he married a girl who was too young. We know this for a fact. And did he go to jail for that? So let's quit talking about white people always get away with shit. The Constitution works for everybody who applies it the right way. So, oh, it don't work. It don't work. Is there anybody who watching this show right now that cannot vote and is not a convicted felon? Is there anybody in here who can't go to a meeting? Is there anybody who's watching right now who cannot serve on the jury? Anybody. And if we're telling the truth, most of us still don't want to be on jury duties. It takes away time. We losing money. We got a ton of excuses, but we the first ones to bitch about the outcome from an all-white jury. Stop it. The Constitution says we got the right to jury duty, but we don't want it. We try to come up with all kind of excuses. Oh, I got asthma. Oh, I just found out I was pregnant and I'm on bed rest. We got all kind of excuses. And you're right, Trina. When one of us get away with a crime, we applaud. Oh, and don't forget, oh, what's the snitching thing again? Because we know this shit happens. We can film everything but a black man killing the black man. Because then don't nobody phone work. You're right, and I already said that convicted felons can vote. There's a process for it if they want it, and the Constitution allows for that process. So for you to be a convicted felon and be able to vote and do jury duty, sin, you are co-signing what I just said, but then you just said you didn't understand the Constitution, and it don't work for us. So tell me how, if the Constitution don't work for us, you get to vote. See, you arguing against your own self. I know what I'm talking about. I've done the research. I read and I apply. You're right. You have to apply. And if you can apply, that means the Constitution works for you. It ain't saying you did. We ain't going to hear it because there are lots of people who can do it. Saying sometimes you just want to argue to argue, and I'm cool with that. But you don't want to take in facts because you want to be so radical sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it. Because if you do your studies and you like to read, Malcolm and Martin started off at two different levels. Martin was extremely peaceful, where Malcolm was about it. But if you look at their careers as time went on, they swapped roles. Malcolm became super peaceful. Martin was getting a little bit more militant, and that's okay. But you still have to understand the system to make things work. The Constitution will work if we read it and not just apply it to us and start saying, oh, it's like I said, the Constitution says we have the right to free speech. It doesn't say we have a right to work. It doesn't say that. We don't. No, you said you don't understand my title. I got you, Sam, because we're going to talk. Because you still my dude. You still my dude. And I got lots of friends who are convicted felons because I tell them how to work around stuff. Well, I'm going to disagree with you, Tommy. Brother Malcolm was killed because he let somebody infiltrate and he knew they was infiltrated, if we believe everything we read, because he thought he could change. And it was one of us. But, you know, like I said, when we talk about it, and I'm so tired of, like I said, people using the race card because we are the biggest racists on the planet, because we don't want to hear nothing that may work against us. Once again, because y'all act like y'all didn't hear me, but I ain't forgot. What's the difference between the KKK, neo-Nazis, and Crips and Bloods? They got the same target audience. Different reasons, but do the reasons matter? They still killing people that look like this. And that's all I'm saying. If we want the system to work for us, we can't pick who we want to oppress in the rise of the black man in the rise of people of color in the United States. Anybody that attacks people of color, whether it's homicide or genocide, is guilty of the same thing. But we act like they're two different crimes. We kill each other, genocide, while we let other people kill us, homicide, and we act like it's a big difference. We cannot do that and continue to say the system don't work for us. Silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. I don't know if I can say that to y'all. No, I wish I could play my man Peace. Truth Be Told is his name. If you ever get a chance to check it out, Truth Be Told, it's called snitching. Silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. We only want to speak out when somebody who doesn't look like us oppresses us. Oh, them people need to come to Bankhead. They need to come to Adamville. They need to come to Compton. And if they come, what you gonna do? But don't put me in the same room with Jesse. That mean I'm bootleg. What we gonna do? Because you know what they do? The Klanists come here. They go to Stone Mountain. Why we don't go to Stone Mountain? They gonna be there. They got permits. Why do we don't go to Stone Mountain to meet them? Why would they come to Adamsville? Ain't nothing in Adamsville they want but crime statistics. And truth be told, if you want somebody killed in Adamsville or Bankhead or Compton or Bedford-Stuy or any of these, who do you get to do it? You get somebody to look like us. So why would the Klan come and work against themselves? We'll take each other out and then we'll keep quiet about it because silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. We ain't gonna tell on a brother that killed a brother, but we get mad when somebody non-colorist kills a brother. I ain't gonna drift from that. That's the racism part. So when we sitting here talking about how the system won't work, Dixie Hill I don't even think no criminals ever came from Dixie Hill. Okay, and we can work on the terminology, but it's still you still get the point, Wanda. We killing each other and we don't think it's a big deal. We get upset when somebody else kills us. It's a travesty either way. Dead is dead. We can't sit back and say we don't want white people to kill us, but we okay with black people killing us. That's just super duper asinine. The system works. The system works. Trust me. I've been a cop. I locked up white killers. I locked up black killers. Convicted murders of both races. White people go to jail for it. I was telling SCLC came to one of my meetings and I ain't got nothing for SCLC. Nothing. Because they want to argue me about, you don't never see black cops killing white unarmed kids. If you Google it, you will. And you'll see it happen in Alabama, which is a racist state. But you ain't hear nothing about it because they went about it the legal way. All that hooping and hollering and screaming. And it happens for different reasons. One of the cops was totally legitimate in his. As a SWAT team killed a white guy who was damn near naked. But we don't want to talk about those. Bad police are bad police. They don't just attack blacks. And I don't just tell you how to stop white cops or black cops. I've given you detailed formulas for how to stop bad cops, period. Now, the fact that it requires a little work, don't nobody want to put in the leg work. And understand this about activism. And most of us don't want to do nothing until it hit home. That's how we are. Because we think we're safe in our own little cubby hole. And then when all of a sudden our quietness keeps us from saying anything till that stray bullet come through the window and hit one of our family members, then we want to know, well, we knew somebody saw it. Why don't y'all say something? Well, the 2 or 3 times you saw something with your phone, but you erased it, you didn't say shit. What's the difference? If you do something in my neighborhood, I'm coming for you. Now, Mark knows me outside of it. Mark knows me in a playful world. I played football. I played flag football with convicted felons. I had to lock a couple of them up. It was business. They understood what I did. A couple of them, one of them was being railroaded. I taught him how to beat the system around that one. Okay, this is what they're doing. And based on what my perception is, and even what the street's saying, you couldn't have did this. But listen, this is how you just gonna have to go through the system, period. But this is how you fight the system. Don't be mad. Just do this. And this is how you get it done. See, there are lots of cops like me. We know the system ain't perfect. I'm not gonna lose my job for you, but I'm gonna show you how you can I'm gonna show you how you can work the system. Because the system is there for a reason. It ain't foolproof. Lots of people get away with stuff. And there are times when the wrong person is convicted. I'm not going to assist in that. Especially now, you're right, Mark. I was on a team full of felons. I got this. This is the crazy part. Side note, I played on a team full of felons, convicted felons. I got suspended. I got suspended from my job because I was associated with known felons. I got suspended for these many days because I was on a team full of convicted felons. My choice. I can do what I want to do when I ain't working. Of course, it sounds good, and I can do whatever I want to do. Whether they pay me now is a whole nother issue. But believe me now, the suspension was overturned because there was nothing that said I couldn't be with them. They weren't committing crimes while we were together. I didn't go to their parties because I knew what they was doing at the parties. I didn't want to be around to smoke some, but we were just playing football. Again, my stand agrees with you, and although the Constitution is not written with us in mind, we can use to our advantage. It's like voting in lower government. I agree to use what they use to better our And that's all I'm saying, Sam. The system works for whoever applies it first. I tell you guys all the time, as much as we don't like to, and this is from my research, this is a black man issue. And I ain't finna get deep in this, I'm just giving you an example. When a woman hits a man will not call the cops because it's not what we do. But if you hit a woman, she called the cops, you're going to jail. I've had to tell certain guys who are with abusive women, you got to make that first phone call. You're going to jail, pimp. There's just no way around it. There's just no way around it. Yeah, I don't want her to go to jail, and that's fine. You got to make a choice because she gonna keep hitting you. Somebody gonna call the cops. Either you going to jail or she going to jail. You got to figure out who it is. I say if a woman wouldn't call the cops on you, you should leave. You don't need to be with a woman who wouldn't be, especially if she's an instigator. And I ain't saying all women instigate. I'm just saying this in this instance. There's a couple instances where the woman was an instigator, and we know women who do this. The system is still gonna say what it say. We're gonna be overprotective of women first. You gotta make the phone call and say, and lock yourself in the bathroom. But we don't want to do that. The system will work. We just don't like it because we hear too many stories about, oh, I wasn't this, I wasn't this. Ain't nothing perfect. The way we do stuff ain't perfect. Hell, some of my thought processes ain't perfect. I've made mistakes. I've made more than one mistake. Chance I'm gonna make some more mistakes before the end of the month. But I try to keep my mistakes to a minimum, and I try to keep them very, very small. Because I think about things and not just react to them. You know, I would love to tell y'all some personal things sometimes, but I ain't going there yet. It's not that time. But there's some things I want to do immediately and responsive that were totally irresponsible. And the ends didn't justify the means. It would have made me feel great to do some of the things I wanted to do. But the punishment for me feeling great wouldn't have been something that was acceptable to me and mine. I understood that. Later, after I took a drink and a nap. And so all I'm saying is we have to be cognizant of what it is of what it is we're doing and who it affects. For us to make the system work, we have to pick something that doesn't affect the majority, which is normally the lower income people. If we're picketing, boycotting, and making a stand, and the lower income people start losing money, we're going to lose them. They are the masses right now. There's more lower income people than there are high income people, even in our race. We have to accept that. So when we want to boycott something, we want to prove something. See, some of these things we can do on Saturdays. You know, you can still do them. There are ways to get around it. But we have to make a plan, and the plan can't be made. I got invited to a boycott. I got invited to a meeting about boycotting some stuff. on a Friday. It's 10 o'clock. I got invited to a meeting at 12 o'clock. Are you really serious? You want to meet Friday at 12 o'clock and you don't decide it's to 9:30, 10 o'clock? You think I don't have nothing to do with my life? It's Friday. Even if you'd had this meeting, most people have something to do. I said, Samuel is my guy. We argue about a lot of stuff because, and that's okay. Because some of y'all argue with me about stuff, and I ain't finna delete you, none of that stuff, because I want your input so that you can enlighten me. Samuel has said some things that have showed me a different light, but we're different people. We can't knock each other's knowledge, training, and levels of experience. Ray Lewis said what he said. I can't call Ray Lewis a coon. Ray Lewis is speaking from his life experiences. Ray Lewis is speaking from his level of having money. Michael Vick is speaking from his life experiences. Michael Vick is speaking from his level of being incarcerated. See, I ain't never been in prison for 3, 4, 5 years. I ain't never been in prison, period. I can't speak from that level. But I listen to convicted felons. I have friends. I will call them friends. I have friends. I have associates. I know people who are convicted felons. When they tell me certain things, I listen, have to learn their perspective so that when I'm trying to say stuff, if I want them to be part of the agenda, I have to give them something that will motivate them too. I do the same thing for women. I do the same thing for everybody, which is why I love you guys' input. I just don't want you calling me a liar. Not you, Sam, on this. This is somebody else. Calling me a liar, but you don't have any facts. You're just telling me how you feel. Or my favorite statement was, somebody put facts on me and everything. Okay, George. What does mean everything? Well, we should be mad about something. Okay, you know what being mad does? And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Anybody ever been really, really mad? You know what being mad does? Being mad make you sleepy. Because you burn a lot of energy. You're going to go to sleep. Trust me. Thank you, Odessa. That's all being mad does. You don't go to sleep. What do you get accomplished? Nothing. One of my newfound friends on Facebook, we was going through the post. He was like, he got to leave the post because he'll mess around and be on the post all day and not get nothing accomplished. Because I'm sure Facebook has taken some of our time from time to time. Oh, I'm sorry, Doc. I missed all these people coming in. And Sam, you my guy. That's what I said. We still need to talk. But sometimes, I think you're a little radical, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't need to be like me. For us to get to the top, we have to have multiple levels of thinking. And this is what I think Farad is here with me and Katrina Chuck. We need to have groups and everybody go to their subgroups. And this is how we spread information, because I can only be in so many places. Sam, you can only be in so many places. And to spread the message, one person can't do it. We all have to talk to our own different circles and find out what bothers them, bring it back to a bigger group, get that, and decide how we need to best disseminate knowledge. Okay? There are people with money, and we need these people, who won't do anything but give you money to get resources for stuff. But they want to be silent for whatever reason, and we can't ask nothing more of them because the revolution costs money. Hey, Tina. Yeah, I'm still doing a little something. The revolution costs money. So if you got people who want to back your revolution through financial means, don't get mad at them and say, oh, you're not standing up against, if you don't stand for this, you'll fall for anything. Some people got more to lose, and they got to protect their interests. And let me tell you something else that people don't get. Sometimes people who are in influential positions or with people who know things that are going on, they have to stay there so they can tell us what's going on. So quit judging people by where you see them sometimes. I have had friends when I was employed, I had friends who were friends with my enemies. And they always went to meetings, and as soon as the meeting's over, I get phone calls. Hey man, this is what they doing. This is what they doing. I knew these people were my friends. Nobody else knew, but we were never friends publicly. I love that theory, and it took me a minute to realize that. Well, why you ain't doing it? If I let them know I'm your friend, then who gonna tell you when they planning something against you? You know what? That shit make perfect sense. Sometimes you need to have friends that don't nobody know about if you really want to know what's going on. Which is why I don't delete racists from my Facebook page. Hell, it's just Facebook. They can't get to me. If you don't know what your enemy is thinking or trying to do, how do you fight them? We not that smart. We all thinking on our level, but we not fighting each other. You have to have these inside sources. You have to be willing to listen to other information, whether you like it or not, to formulate a winnable plan. All right, I can't. Hey, Nikki, I can't sit here and think I'm gonna fight Nikki if I don't know what Nikki's thinking. Oh, I see Nikki. I know who she is. This is what I'm gonna do. Well, Nikki might have 20, 30 people on her team I don't know nothing about. And if somebody can't tell me who on Nikki's team, how am I gonna win? I'm just gonna show up and show out, and she just gonna give in to me. What's up, Kalanda? What's going on, Robert? What's happening with you? And that's all I want people to understand is it's multiple ways to win the fight, and we can't be against these multiple ways because we're so sensitive or set in our ways that we think it's only one way. The best advice I ever got was don't come to me with a problem if you don't have a solution. We can all identify what's wrong. Okay? I didn't say nothing was wrong with Kaepernick's stance. What was wrong was our mentality, was him going back to the plantation. If that's how we view the NFL, and I don't, because I don't know no slaves that make $5 million. I don't know no slaves that make $500,000, and I think that's the minimum wage, 500 grand. How's that a slave? Oh, the NFL does this. These people choose to play football. Nobody can make you play football. Nobody. I work for the sheriff's department. It's not a slave mentality. They paid me. I had an option to be a sheriff or not. I went in there because I wanted to be an agent of change. I went initially for something else. No lie, I went for something else. But when I got there and I saw that I could have an impact from the inside, that's what I wanted to do. So people say, oh, you this, but you don't know what I'm doing. You judge me from the outside. And if I judge you from the outside, then I'm wrong. I don't know why some people stay in the hood. Some people stay in the hood to make change from the hood. I can't judge you by that unless I know you. And we so quick to want to just judge everybody based on our life experiences. I didn't grow up like Robert. I didn't grow up like Katrina. I didn't grow up like Wanda. I didn't grow up like John L. So I need to take their experiences into consideration and listen to how they got to certain things. Some of you guys I met, some of you guys I know from Facebook, and I have to listen to you. Sometimes y'all say stuff and I just don't get it. It take me a minute. Sometimes I say stuff to y'all, and it take y'all a minute. It doesn't make it less important to me. It just changed where it is because my issues are here. But when I hear something good, I move it up. But I need to be able to understand that. I thought about all CEOs that left Trump's main. Exactly. And that's I want to talk about that. Under Armour left. It's an NFL supporter. So Under Armour dropped Trump. Do we support Under Armour now? We're gonna boycott them because they support the NFL. And sometimes you have to cut, Michelle, sometimes you have to cut ties when you're close like that because you see it's a sinking ship and your brand is affected. Like I said, when it's individuals doing something, that's a whole nother issue. But when it's your brand, you really have to think about it. I mean, there are things I do that nobody knows, and I'm cool with doing them. Some of them I don't personally believe in. I have clients that I don't personally believe in, but they pay. So I ain't got to do nothing out public. So I'm good with the money because it helps support other things. And some people, if I made 20 million, it's a lot of things I wouldn't do. I don't have 20 million. I'm 100 there. On a good month, I'm 1,000 there. But normally I'm 100 there. So my level of fighting the system has to be in accordance with my comfort level. Because one, I gotta eat. My family gotta eat. We need a place to stay. I ain't gonna do nothing to jeopardize that. It's just not gonna happen. Real talk. And nobody should think that it is. Oh, you should stand up for this. You want to protest in the NFL. Right. And see, you came late, Robert, and that's my whole point. But the Constitution does not allow for his employer to have to accept that. He can protest whatever he wants. But as an employer, Robert, if you work for me, you can protest whatever you want. If I don't like it and it brings discredit to my company or whatever I think, I have a right to not employ you. That's a choice. That's what the Constitution, that's what this great state is all about. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm a military veteran. Okay? We fight for the right for you to be able to express these choices. Look at some of these other countries. You can't speak out against the president. You can't speak out against the system. You can't speak out against nothing. I have no problem with him not standing. See, I'm one of the people that remember that they didn't used to do this whole song and dance at games. It's not that big a deal to me. But understand this. I'm a veteran. When they play the song, I'm standing up because that's what I believe in. I don't believe that the Star Spangled Banner or anything else has any impact on the judicial system. This is my thought. If somebody next to me doesn't want to stand up, I don't say nothing to them. I'm a soldier. I fought for them to have the right to sit if they wanted to, for that freedom of expression. That's on them. But what no soldier has a right to do in uniform is disrespect the flag. It's part of your job. When it comes on, you're going to stand up, you're going to put your hand over your heart. That's part of your job. It's part of your job. You don't have a right to do anything unless you don't want to be in it. Employers control that. We can't get around that fact. And all I'm saying with that, Robert, is employees get to do what they want to do. You get to pick your employer. Colin didn't like it. He left his employer. Why are we upset? Why are we protesting? He believed in something bigger than his employer. He got his money. He left. I said, to me, he's the American hero. He's the American dream. You think if I could have got the sheriff's department to pay me $20 million one year, I wouldn't have cared. I'd have left and never looked back. Probably wouldn't even be doing this show. I'd probably be in Jamaica somewhere, truth be told. Enjoying the beach and blue drinks that got diluted by not by me. Let me keep this close to me. I was a burglar in my house. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe what I have to go through doing the show. I finally got some tequila and I got a tequila thief in the midst. So, but that's all I'm saying is when we look at the Constitution and racism and us, we can't keep sitting around and separating how they work. We can't make it be for us. Robert, like I say, we played football together. Most of the team was what most of the team was. But most teams still had cops on. I played football with Robert. We still had cops on the team. We were separate but equal. We played together, we won together, but we didn't all party together. I took a suspension for playing with y'all. It didn't stop me from playing with y'all because I knew I could win the suspension because there was nothing that said I couldn't play football with y'all. That was the craziest thing I had going. And plus, I knew a couple of secrets, but that's a whole nother story. No, the thieving assistant, not the phantom assistant this time. It was the thieving assistant this time, Odessa, because my drink is slowly coming up missing. So, I got my watch, but I ain't been charging. What time is it, somebody? Hi, y'all with me? Man, I'm supposed to be writing stuff down. While y'all tell me what time it is, let me hit my quick commercial break. Y'all know what it is. DVP. I'm a print model, Big Time Magazine. Oh, hold on, let me get all these cameras. And if y'all get a chance, if y'all got some young kids in your neighborhood, especially fellas, who need something, check out Future Gents Academy. Ernest Moore gonna put up the link again, the website. He's the man. He the one who bullied me into being a model. And for those of y'all that know me, I don't use that term loosely. Ernest Moore bullied me. We're not racist. Racists are people with prejudice who have power. We have zero or very little power. Ernest, that sound good, but what do we always talk about? We always talk about how much money we got, how much our spending power. We are racist. We have tons of power. We have tons of power. So I refuse that definition of us because we only use that when we like it. But anyway, you did bully me. But the first thing we always talk about is how much power we got, so let's boycott this. So if we didn't have power, then why would we even boycott? Because we have way more than a little power. And consumers have power, because what's the thing? There you go. That's what's up, sis. We got power. We got power. Now, whether we got power over the NFL, that's a different story. But we got power over a lot of consumer things. The consumers who support the NFL, we got power. NASCAR is driven by consumers, and that's how that works. Lee, what's crack-a-lacking? Rashid McDuffie, what's going on with you? Hey, and for all you new timers, your first timers, I just want to say, hey, I've been remiss. I'm supposed to say hey to everybody, but I've been on my little roll. Delana Star, I know Ray brought a couple people. Don't forget to like the page. Leave me a review. Say if you like, leave me a review. You should leave these many stars. My inbox is always open. If you got something you want me to talk about, if you can think of ways that I need to make the show better, please inbox me and we'll address them. I don't need for you to tell me it's a great show. I'm cool with it and I appreciate it in your review. But if you inbox me, tell me how to make the show better. Tell me some topics that you want to talk about and we'll get to them. I'm a little slow sometimes because I got ADD and OCD at the same time. And sometimes they fight against each other. And then I got split personalities. Just work with me. Ernest, because we got buying power, advertising, consumers. Because being a consumer is the same as voting. Because if somebody buys a product, they stop selling them. So we have tons of power. Why do you think this is racist? Why do you think Church's Chicken exists? That chicken is shit. But consumers like it. So they keep building them. Church's sucks. You're right, left, right, left, right, don't fall. Don't harass me. Congratulations on the thank you, Wanda. Well, I'm still a beginner, but Ernest got me on the right track. He gonna get me there. We're working on some big things. Hopefully, I'm gonna have some great news for y'all within the next 6 weeks about my career taking off. Um, but we have the power. I mean, we if we choose our leaders right. And this ain't to throw shade. This is one of the reasons. I'm gonna just tell you my Jesse Jackson story right quick. I gave up on Jesse Jackson when I was a little boy when he ran for president in Jet magazine, which is why I don't mess with them. Jesse Jackson officially couldn't win at one point, and this was when I was, getting into my whole knowledge of politics. Jesse Jackson was out of the race. Jet magazine was still running ads to take up money for Jesse Jackson. And Jesse Jackson was still out there talking, but there was no way he could have won. And I knew then